With our segment known as the Iowa Almanac. So we're going to check in with Professor Jeff Stein to see what happened on this very day that has an Iowa tie. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning to you both. You know, when you guys go out in the community, I know you attract quite a crowd, but I'm not sure that you've ever attracted the kind of crowd we're going to talk about today that happened 70 years ago. I'm going to reach behind me and start with audio and see if you recognize this voice.
I'll come back anytime you ask me, especially when I'm met by 10 acres of people. Now you figure out how many that is.
10 acres of people. Well, as it turns out, that's 100,000 people who filled a 10-acre area around a stage to hear that man, President Harry S. Truman. And it happened on this date, September 18th of 1948. The scene was the annual national plowing matches held that year near Dexter, Iowa.
The plowing matches?
The plowing matches. Every year they had plowing matches, and it was a competition. And it was an amazing thing because you would have people who would be able to plow for accuracy. It was to promote soil conservation, and people literally came from around the country. And it rotated to various different places. They used to have corn growing contests to see who had the tallest stalks. The plowing matches, again, were for soil conservation and accuracy. See, I knew you were interested because it has a motor attached to it.
That's pretty cool.
It really was. It really was. And there was this huge scoreboard where they would write the results in chalk at the base of the stage. And to get the President of the United States there was a very big deal. Of course, Harry Truman was in a tough re-election fight, actually election fight, because this was the first time he would have stood for office, having succeeded FDR. Now, many people at the time, guys, presumed that Republican Governor Thomas E. Dewey of New York would win. Truman toured the country by train in a whistle-stop campaign, taking on the Republican-led 80th Congress, which he dubbed the Do-Nothing Congress. And during his appearance in Iowa, he wasn't on the back of a railroad car at a train station, as had been the case with so many. The president had, as we noted, 100,000 people, and he did take a jab at the opposition party. He first noted that times had changed greatly in agriculture from when he worked in the fields as a boy in Missouri. And now, of course, machines would automatically do what a man and a horse would do. Then he came up with this line.
I don't want to turn the clock back. I don't want to go back to that horse and buggy age, although some of our Republican friends do.
A little direct shot there. Now, this, of course, was one of history's greatest political comebacks, when on November 2nd of 1948, Truman won the election for a full term as president against three major challengers. Not only Dewey, but that also included Iowa's own Henry A. Wallace. Harry Truman wound up carrying the state of Iowa in that 1948 election, no doubt in part, to when he came and spoke to 100,000 people at the national plowing matches in Dexter. And it happened on this date 70 years ago in 1948.
That is absolutely amazing to get that many people to show up at one place at one time, obviously well before any social media was even thought of back then. That's an amazing
Absolutely. And when you see the picture of Truman at the stage, there's that massive scoreboard where they wrote in all of the names of the competitors and the timing, et cetera. It's just, again, an amazing event. And not only was it great political theater, as we tried to show here, but it was a way, in a time before people thought too much about soil conservation and tilling and all of that, it was really ahead of its time in that regard as well.
People very excited about their plows.
Well, again, it had a motor on it, so Lou is just, he's
I mean,
excited.
I got to remember this. Next time I'm trying to draw a crowd, I just got to bring a plow with me. And
bring a couple of plows and have a competition.
They get excited about that. I forget where I am sometimes.
See, I thought when I saw that picture earlier, I thought it was a golf scoreboard. I said, oh, it must be a big golfing event with 100,000 people there. That makes sense, but it's a plowing competition. Very neat. But people want to go back and revisit what you just got done talking about and get some of these facts and figures so they can discuss them with some knowledge. How can they do so?
Go to iowaalmanac.com. I think the picture there is of that golf scoreboard, if you will, and it's exactly what I thought of too, Lou, when I saw that. It looks just like what we put up today at the 18th green, but it was in Dexter in a field, and iowaalmanac.com has all the details.
That works. All right, man. Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you tomorrow morning.
I'll be right here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.